Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with user, our viewer submitted Sunday. I keep on wanting to say user submitted Sunday, but it's not user submitted. I mean, you are a user of Twitch, but you were a viewer of mine. And so we're here with viewer submitted Sunday with Eldrazi turns. For those who don't know, if you do gift sub 5 or more subs, you can send me over a deck list that I will play on Sundays. And today is Luca's list with Eldrazi turns. I did tune it, did adapt it, so we'll see how it fares. This first hand's kind of meh. 8 hits for Null Drifter onto. We get 2 looks. I will mulligan, I think. I think I want to accelerate a bit. This does look good, though. Null Drifter, Temple, Island, Devour, Otawara into Brain Surge, Temporal Trespass to give us an extra turn. Actually, I think we probably dump Temporal Trespass now I'm looking at this more. But I am using my DB account for the first time, which is exciting. Speaking of, let's do that. So, will mean that I have a few things to probably set up here. Like I need to set stops, because definitely don't have those set correctly. Because there are many times where I want to do things on my opponent's turns. My upkeep, not so much. My draw, yeah. Beginning of combat and before damage, not often, but sometimes. Because we do have Dismember. End the combats, end a second main. Yeah, that should be right, I'm pretty sure. Probably says stop on their first main phase. We'll keep Pitch the Temporal, Reveal Devour, and Trigger. What we got here? We got K Command, Tameo, Stock Up. K Command's tempting for obvious reasons, since it is removal, as the ramp, as the digs. I think the K Command makes sense. Oh, almost passed through because I think normally I have a stop on my upkeep that I didn't set, so I passed through. Thankfully, it shouldn't matter, as we have a stop in our second main, so we're not going to skip through accidentally. We'll play the Temple, and we'll pass and hold on the off chance it's relevant. Elegant Parlor, Surveil. Realizing that I have animations on, I don't really care for that. Elegant Parlor will resolve, Flage to Yard, looking like energy if I had to guess. There's the K command. I think I'm just going to play the Null Drifter here. Maybe I don't normally have a stop on my upkeep. Definitely on my draw. I know that for certain. We're going to draw 2, Evoke. There's K command, Dismember. So K commands are definitely online. Nice thing about Eldrazi turns, I will say, is that like it just has a decent mid-range backup plan, which I do like. Alrighty. What say you, opponent? Yep, that looks like energy to me. Tisn't a Johnny, so I do want to deal with the Johnny. Go to main. Thinking Temple K command here. We also could go Dismember. Let's go Rampant Exile or Scrydraw Exile. I think I'm gonna Rampant Exile. Exile the Johnny at sorcery speed. Done. A Johnny down. And we'll pass. There we go. And we'll hold. What say you, opponent? Fetch, Flooded Strand, holding Dismember K command up, Plains, and Pyro. Pyro will resolve, that is fine. Pyro pitch 2, so we might need to get rid of this Flage at some point, would be my thought. Yeah, because I guess they're, what, Fetch, Surveil? They're still off by a pretty decent margin. So I don't think we have to do it next, or this turn. We can probably wait a turn to deal with the Flage. We'll take 2 down to 18. We'll draw, go to main. We have the Tamiyo. We could Tamiyo and Brain Surge flip. That is a consideration. I kind of like that idea. So let's go Tamiyo. Otawara play. Cast Brain Surge. Draw 4. Flip Tamiyo. Put 2 on top of my library. I'm thinking Talisman of Dominance and Polluted Delta to shuffle away the Talisman, because I don't really care for the Talisman at this point. Flips the Tamiyo, always yield. Plus Tamiyo, and hold K command, X equals 3. I mean, Tamiyo, I imagine, is a bit hard for them to deal with, right? Because at least for non-combat damage, I'd imagine. Or rather, combat damage, I'd imagine. Non-combat, not so much. Go to combat. Sure. Pyro, cat, triggers, always yield. And we'll K command, ramp and scry draw. Let's set up some blockers. And done. I guess I should have sacked this spawn to dig one further in retrospect. So bottom, draw. Misty. Go to blocks. Yeah, I should have dug one further. That way it could have been the Misty, actually. Go to blocks. We block and block. So we can pick up Brain Surge if we want. Bring up K command. We have options. Arid Mesa. Fetch down to 18. Plains. Again, one shy of Flage. Blood Moon is not ideal, given that now we won't have the colorless needed, but fine. Sink in the Stupor, that will help. In a lot of ways, actually. Go to main, we'll plus. Misty Rainforest is a mountain. And yeah, at that point, we'll just hold up the sink. Yeah, I forgot how good Tamiyo is into energy, jeez. And they really are at a significant disadvantage. Plays an Arena of Glory. Bombardment. Yeah, I suppose Bombardment's fine. Not what I want, but it is what it is. Paying cost for Flage. So we could sink the Flage, but I'm going to sink the Blood Moon. So Flage, Helix, target. Targets the Tamiyo. That is fine. Sack start to spawn. We'll sack in response. Yep. Goes to phase change, I'd imagine. I just realized I'm out 1. Oh. I forgot the Otawara there is not a island right now. Oh, no. That's so unfortunate. Uh-oh. I'm in danger. Yep, that will do. Maybe I wanted to keep that talisman after all. Whoops. Whoops, 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 whoops. So, Tamio down to 1. Sack the elemental token. Tamio down. We draw, not what we want. I shall play the Ugin Lab, and I'm in danger. Yes, I am. Yeah, that Blood Moon actually might just be the end of me. I thought we could sink the Blood Moon, and by sinking the Blood Moon, we'd be able to turn on the K command, get rid of the Flages, but no such luck. We'll take 4 down to 14. Paying cost 4 Flage. Thankfully, no haste. But we'll take the Helix down to 11, a theoretical 8. There's a second Tamio for what it's worth. Go to main, cast the Tamio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No reason to play the sync right now. We'd want to if we find Ugin, maybe? But otherwise, right now, we're just going to use the Tamio to absorb a Helix. And does that matter, actually? We can take 4 to negate 5. Yep, and that is 10. Even if I dismember down to 4, no, we are dead. Okay. Yeah, that moon kind of bricked me there. Ooh, hello, that is large. Do not need that to be that large, thank you. So, let's think now. How would I like to... That's not what I wanted. Sort by mana value, thank you. What would I like here in this matchup? Guard the Dismember's main. Harbinger, no. Subtlety is arguable. 3. 11. Yeah, so we definitely have enough blue sources for the Subtlety. Harbinger, no. Flute, maybe. Consign, no. Subtleties, yes, would make sense. Dismembers feel worse in this matchup, but having some removal is not bad. Brain should stock up. The sideboarding definitely is going to be the hard part here. We could drop some number of something. Ugin, question mark? Ugin's binding seems decent if we can get it into yard. We need to drop 2. My first instinct is Ugin, but Ugin's a pretty decent house. My second instinct is Dismember, because Dismember's been pretty subpar in this matchup. On the play for game 2, we'll keep. Looking for their soul land. We'll start with the temple, set up the K command. I mean, if there's a world where we can set up for the Ugin on like turn 4, I think. If we do find, let's say, a lab, for example. Reveal the Devour. Opponent keeps 7. We'll trigger. Salty Binding, Misty Rain. I'm tempted to go Binding here, though Subtlety's also tempting. Though Subtlety's not castable right now, even if an Evoke. So Binding's tempting here. Let's grab the Binding, play the Temple and pass. And then go Flooded Strand for Undercity Sewers, or use K command as removal, and ramp would be my initial thought. We'll hold. And no transfer's relevant. Sacred Foundry Shock. Then 18. Playing Ocelot Pride. That's fine. Do I want to K command this? Tempted to, but doesn't feel like I need to. I will play the island, yeah. We could ramp Scrydraw block, but I think just ramp Exile makes more sense. Maybe take the hit. But then if they have another Ocelot Pride, they can get the trigger that we want to avoid. So not taking the hit probably is the right choice. Like in a vacuum, if I just knew they had one Ocelot Pride, then taking the hit probably would be correct. But not knowing that, we should ramp an Exile. I do wonder if maybe one thing I should consider putting into this if I ever play it in the future is some number of TKS. TKS might not be a bad idea. White, red, a Johnny. We can bounce a Johnny back. Brain Surge. We'll draw. Grab. Flooded Strand or Ottawara. Let's play the Ottawara now. And hold up the Binding. Let's see. If they try and flip, we can Binding the Johnny. Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. Arena, Plains. Okay. Bombardment. In response, we're going to bounce the Johnny. I guess I could have waited until they flipped or tried to flip by sacking the cat to bombardment. That may have been the right move, actually. Either ways, a Johnny is back. Yeah, I think I could have waited. Maybe that would have been correct. But I want to Brain Surge before we fetch. We'll take the 2 down to 18. End step bombardment. Yep, that's fine. And Guide of Souls. Sure. We'll draw island. Like I said, I think I want to Brain Surge before we fetch. And we have an option not to fetch as well. So let's start with Brain Surge. I guess we could do it on their end step to represent interaction, but let's Brain Surge now. Draw 4, put 2 back. I wonder if there's an argument to do that on my upkeep, actually. Probably. There's Null Drifter, which is relevant because that will trigger Ugin's Binding. Yeah. Temporal Mastery as well with Miracle. So we want to put 2 on top. So we don't want to shuffle here. So let's put Ugin on top, then Temporal on top. That way Temporal's on top. We'll play the island and pass. So now we can Miracle. We'll take some beats, but we get 2 turns out of it. And we'll pass. Okay. This is looking interesting. Then I forget what... oh, Blood Moon. Okay, that's actually fine. So we'll draw, Miracle, reveal Temporal Mastery. It is 7, which I believe whenever you cast a colorless spell, but yes, I will. Miracle. Cast it. So I get another turn. Go to main. So we could Null Drifter draw 2. And then bounce everything. Yep, we'll do that. Null Drifter, Ugin's Binding. Null Drifter resolves first, so that way I get to determine whether or not I want to. Ugin Sewers. Use the ability. I'll say yes. Yield all. So those get bounced to hand. Null Drifter will evoke. And we'll pass. We'll draw. Subtlety. Go to main. I suppose then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will fetch for an island. And this is an interesting deck to play. Definitely is flexing some different muscles than, let's say, Tron or ERAM, for example, but it does seem fun. Seems much more interactive. And Ugin's Binding seemed pretty good there. Arrive an island. We'll Sewer, Surveil. Eon Torn. We'll say no to you and shuffle. Always yield. Shuffle away. We have our Subtlety. Blood Moon is fine. Yep, we're fine with Blood Moon. We'll draw. Time Warp. So I'm going to take an extra turn. Oh, well. He's a sorcery. I'm on my draw step. Time Warp, target me. And we'll pass. Untap and draw. Temporal Trespass. We would be able to pay 10. We're not there yet, so we're just going to pass. I have no reason to evoke the Subtlety. Marsh Flats. Paying cost for Guide of Souls. That's fine. Paying cost for Bombardment. That's fine. Ragavan. I'm going to say no to Ragavan. Subtlety. Trigger. Ragavan. Always yield. Ragavan to bottom. We'll draw. Looking for a land for Ugin here. Brain Surge. I'll Brain Surge then. And Bum's going to scoop it up. We'll take the win. Alright, Gemstone back in. And I think we just drop an Ugin. I think that's probably right. Let's drop Ugin. I'm not sure about this Temporal Trespass. I think there's some times where just a 3 mana extra turn, right? But as exiled makes it a bit worse, but I don't know. It might be worth it. It might not. This is a solid start. I will keep. Opponent mulligans down to 5. That is promising. Yeah, this definitely can probably be tuned some more, but I like where it's at right now. On the 19, Synchronized Shock 17 for Ocelot Pride. Sure. Trigger. Ugin Drifter. Thinking Drifter here. Let's go drifting. Lab Imprint, Talisman, pass. So now we're 2 turns away from Time Warp. Next turn I'm going to draw 2. Pride hit down to 18. I do wish there was more ways to get cards in Yard and blue. Because I'd love to find a way to put an Ugin's Binding into Yard. K command is solid. Go to main. In that case, we'll just go Misty Rain and pass. Hold up K command X2. So we can get rid of the Guide Souls. We can get the Pride. The Guide Souls is probably correct. Then block the Pride. Sack in response. Probably also correct. We get an extra turn off the Time Warp. We'll fetch for an island. K command, ramp and exile the guide. And done. Guide down. I mean, do you like the double discharge? Attack for 2. We go to blocks. We block. Before damage, we sack and pass and hold. Down to 17. Sacred Foundry Shock, 17. Ranger Captain of Eos. That is effective at potentially stopping me from taking extra turns. We'll see. Does bring up the question, maybe I shouldn't have blocked. That way we could have played the Null Drifter as a blocker. You want a Ranger Captain? Are you afraid of an extra turn? They say no, they're not afraid of an extra turn. We will go to main. So in that case, I'm going to play Tamiyo. We're going to flip Tamiyo by casting Drifter with Evoke. Trigger. Tamiyo triggers. You find the gemstone, Temporal Mastery. Evoke. Tamiyo plus. And I'm thinking sewers here, but I think we have a second sewers. Pretty sure we have a second sewers. Yeah, we do. So I go Flooded Strand and passing, and we're actually getting into the territory of infinite turns. No attacks. Because now we can use Brain Surge to top the Mastery for the Miracle. We have a Time Warp in hand that can be picked up by the Tamiyo in an extra turn. Yeah, this, if they can't deal with the Tamiyo, we're in a pretty good position. Of course, we have to worry about that Ranger Captain Vios doing shenanigans, but not the end of the world. The Tamiyo being on board alone is going to be kind of difficult for them to deal with. There's a dashed Ragavan, sure. Looks like they might be trying to get Tamiyo in range of a discharge, would be my guess. Always yield. So Ragavan threatening to hit me. I'm gonna block, so I'll block the Ranger Captain and let the Ragavan connect. I don't think they can really play anything that's on top, so I'm just going to let it go. Ragavan connects. Ragavan finds what? Ragavan finds a Brain Surge. That would have been nice, actually. I was looking for that. Ocelot Pride. Not that the Prides are going to be doing much right now. This Tamiyo on board. And they can't play the Brain Surge. Go to end step. Ragavan dash back. Floodstrand fetch. Surveil. Emrakul to yard. Shuffle up. And draw. Ranger Captain says no creatures. Or non-creatures, rather. That's fine. There's Ugin. Go to main. Plus. Undercity. Surveil. Temple top 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Temple top. And we'll pass, because now the Prides and Cat tokens are just dead. So we're good there. Land for turn. I guess I should actually consider returning Devour. I guess the Ragavan will pilfer if it hits me. There's a Charmal target. It's the lab, we'll return and pass at that point. You go after the Tameo? Yes, and yes, that's fine. 2, Temple, draw. So in that case, we'll plus, play Temple, Time Warp, and pass, and draw. Go to main, play a land for turn, return Time Warp. What has happened? Okay. Hello. There we go. We will then play Time Warp. And my turn again. We draw. Main. Tameo plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we can get rid of the Charmal with Devour, block the Ragavan, I think is probably the right move. They have 0 cards in hand. Alternately, 1, 2. No, I think we just Devour here, yeah. I think that's probably correct. Just Devour the Charmal, block the Ragavan. They can't attack in with anything else of meat as of right now. And then again, we can just plus Tameo. Yeah, no, we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. Opponent is thinking hard if they want to continue. That is what I'm imagining, at least. Okay. We will cast Devour. Target the Charmal. And pass. And pass. I suppose we could have also K-command the Charmal, ramped for the Ugin. That may have not been a bad idea, actually. Then we could have gotten an extra turn off the Temporal Mastery. But opponent will scoop it up. We'll take the win. Alright. Solid win for our first match of Eldrazi turns. We'll be back for match number 2. Alright. We're back for match number 2 on the play for game 1. We'll keep this. This seems reasonable. I'll need to better understand the timing of Brain Surge when we want to Brain Surge before I fetch, because I'd like to hold my fetch, obviously, for after the Brain Surge to shuffle away. Devour trigger, what we find then. Opponent Tinkin. There's Time Warp, Tamu. I mean, a Tamu on 2, Brain Surge on 3 seems decent. Unfortunately, we miss out on a Time Warp, but we'll take the Tamu. And we will play the Temple. Yes. Plays a Temple. And pass. And pass. And play the Sewers next turn. No, I guess no. I should have played... I misplayed there. Or missequenced, rather. I should have played the Island first. And then Sewers. That way could have... Yeah. I see my mistakes. I see them. So we'll play Tameo. Ping cost for what? Island cycle. Okay. Pulls a Thundering Falls. We'll pass. Played an island. There's Baral. Oh. So this looks like, is it Storm, if I had to guess? K command. We draw. So in that case, we want to ramp and exile Baral. Done. Baral down. Let's go to combat. Attack with Tameo. Trigger. And then we can Brain Surge. So I would like, probably at this point, actually we can keep the Talisman. I'm thinking Sewers shuffle up. Things will draw into a Sewers regardless. I think that's still fine. Flip, plus, and pass. There's another Baral, Thundering Falls. We'll draw. Go to main. Tameo minus, pick up K command. K command, ramp and exile Baral. And we can go one deeper. Yes. Done. Baral down. I will then fetch for an island and stock up. Grab 2. There's K command. There's Jace. That seems reasonable. And any order. I guess we also could have went for Dismember in case we need to deal with Baral again. But we'll pass and pass. Next turn we can start manipulating their top. Stock up. Dig 5, pull 2. Land for turn. And draw. Main plus. In that case, we're going to play an island. Cast Jace. Jace plus. Remand, counter target spell. Put it on top. We can... we look at the card. Do I want to use the ability for Remand? Yeah, that's fine. We can give you Remand. So, may put that card on the bottom. Oh, I see. Do you wish to use the ability? No. So, leave it on top. And at that point, we'll hold up the K command. When we don't use the K command, we can just draw off the clue. There's Ral. Ritual. So, instant sorceries you cast cost 1 less. So, the Remand is actually online. we would need them to not have a blue up, is the thought here. Ritual Resolve. We can't really stop that. At least not right now. Manamorphose. Yield all. Double blue. Interesting. There's stock up. Route trigger, yield all. Yeah, I may have missed my opportunity to deal with this Remand and Ral. I guess maybe we could have put Remand down, but like at the time I wasn't thinking it was going to be an issue. Scouting turn, fetch 16. Cast 1, 2, 3. And you want 6. Ritual. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess maybe I should have got rid of the Remand, because now we're playing around it. Why do I know about a Disparate Ritual? Manamorphose. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. I'm doing a good job of holding up blue. Wish. Well, shit. Wish resolves. I can't really do much here with this blue up. Declines to flip. Is this a piff? It is a piff. I mean, at this point, we just have to kind of go for it. They're going to use the mana for the Remand, and I think we just lose. So get rid of Ral. Get rid of, I don't know, stock up. Ritual. They had the Manamorphoses, so I'm thinking... Again, it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure we lose here. Done and pass. Because now you remand it. Goes back to hand. There's the remand. Use up a mana. So, noted. I will not let them keep the remand on top in the future. So we'll pass until I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Yeah, no, we're 1000% dead. I'll concede. Let's not play with a point. We're good. So, we do have the Trinisphere. Harbinger, semi-relevant. Subtlety seems relevant. Flute, Consign-ish. Grafdigger's Bauble-ish. Gemstone out. Ugin out. We still have 12. No, wait, not 12. 6, 7, 9. So we're good there. Dismember stays. Binding out. And we still need 2 more. Hmm. See, let's drop the flutes. The flutes have always been kind of mid here, so I think maybe just keep the Dismember Trinisphere. Subtleties definitely makes sense for the round Baral and the Baral. So that makes sense to me. Okay. Yeah, so if we had got rid of the Remand, we would have been in a much better position by comparison. How unfortunate. I just saw their mana, I was like, okay, this is weird, but fine. And didn't think that they could have another reducer, because we got through, what, 2 or 3 Barals, and then we had a Ral on top of which. Not expecting that many reducers. But they had them. Opponent's probably trying to figure out what the hell we're playing, which is reasonable. Eldrazi Turns has not been played for a while. That's a mulligan. Temporal Mastery, K Command, Subtlety. I think I keep this. Probably drop a K Command. We'll keep. Drop a K Command, done. Play Temple, pass, and hold. Scouting turn, passing. We'll draw. Temple. Play Temple, pass, and hold. So now we have removal of the K command. We have Subtlety as well to Time Walk. We have options. Ritual to Yard. Island. Paying cost for Ral. Ral will resolve. And we will ramp and exile. Exile the Ral. Actually, I'm tempted to Scrydraw Exile. I think that might be right. I think Scrydraw Exile might be correct rather than ramp here. Maybe try and find a Trinisphere. Temple, Talisman, no. Temple's tempting. I think bottom, draw fresh, Temporal Trespass, and draw Brain Surge. Okay. So, we're going to go to main. We're going to Brain Surge. Brain Surge, draw 4. We're going to want to put, I think, Time Warp, then Temporal Mastery. That way, Temporal Mastery is on top. We can Time Walk them with a Subtlety by pitching Temporal Trespass. Steam Vents tapped and pass. Miracle. Yes. Always yield. Miracle. Go to main. Play an island. And pass to our next turn. We'll draw. Time Warp. Go to main. Play an island. Time Warp. Okay. We taking turns here, friends. We draw. Brain Surge. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're short on the Temporal Mastery. So I think we're going to start with Brain Surge. Dismember, Tamiyo, Null Drifter. Tamiyo will be good next turn. Because then we can flip with the Null Drifter and start looping turns. We want Dismember, we want K command. So I'm thinking... Have we already played a land for turn? I have not. So we do want a land for turn. I'm thinking Sewer's Tamiyo on top. Play Otawara, that we have access to K command, Dismember, and again, Subtlety pitching the Trespass. Play Otawara and hold and hold. Paying cost Island Cycle, sure. Steam Vent Shock 17. End step, K command, ramp and Scrydraw. And done. So we see the sewers, we see Aeon's Torn. So bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're kind of getting close to this Emrakul. I think I'm going to go top, draw the Tamiyo, pass and draw. I will go to main, cast Tamiyo, Null Drifter to flip the Tamiyo. Tamiyo flip. There's Trinisphere. Oh, this is fun. I have to admit, this is fun. Echoing Truth, return Tamiyo, sure. That is fine. Null Drifter ETBs. And let's recast Tamiyo. And then cast Trinisphere. At that point, we'll pass in full. We can't pay for anything unless they first get rid of the Trinisphere. Second main, passing, draw, Brain Surge. Let's go to combat. Attack with Tamiyo, trigger, investigate. No damage. So now we can do a lot. So let's start with Brain Surge. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, we could also play the Temporal Trespass here, but I think we're just going to Brain Surge. Tamiyo triggers Temporal Mastery, so I'm going to go Sewers, Mastery, Tamiyo trigger, Tamiyo plus, and I'm just going to cast another Trinisphere. Paying cost. Gifts Ungiven. Sure. I am intrigued. What are you doing here of Gifts Ungiven? I mean, you still have to play through the Trinisphere somehow. And now 2 Trinispheres at that. And we're about to take infinite turns. And I'm pretty sure we take infinite turns if we make it a turn now. What could you possibly be getting with Gifts Ungiven that would be relevant right now? I'm very intrigued. So, search your library for up to 4 cards with different names. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Put the chosen 2 cards into your graveyard and rest into your hand, then shuffle. So, Preordained, Lorien Revealed, I care not about either of those. So, I'm putting enters tap unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. So, that's tapped. Chosen cards into your graveyard. So the Scouting Tarn and the Lorien Revealed out. I'll give you the Preordained and the tapped land, sure. And we still have Subtlety if they somehow get rid of both Trinispheres. Preordained, sure. Then next turn we'll Temporal Mastery for 3. Tap land. So they're locked at this point. So we should just be able to win. Yeah, we're good. Yes. Cast. Go to main. Plus. We will then pass. Draw. Sewers. Go to main. I will minus 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll play Temporal Mastery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep the Time Warp. 1, 2. Temporal Trespass. Delve. Tamiyo Plus. Sewer Surveil. Null Drifter top. My turn again. We draw. Null Drifter. Go to main. Evoke. Draw 2. Lands. Evoke. Misty Rainforest. Fetch. For an island. Tamiyo. Time Warp. Do you get the picture yet, opponent? My turn again. We'll draw. Scouting Tarn. Polluted Delta. Fetch. You're floating blue. Sure. I will 2, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13. We're short. Time Warp. And I suppose at this point we'll pass. Well, I should probably draw with the clue. Almost forgot about that. Draw with the clue. Sink. Draw. Dismember. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oof. Go to main. Plus. Scouting Tarn. Pass. I do wonder if maybe I should have played the Null Drifter and had been attacking instead of just a draw 2. That may have been right in retrospect. But we have Sync, we have Subtlety. We're not exactly hurting here. 1, 2, 3. Ritual. Return target spell. I'll fetch Surveil. Subtlety to Yard. My turn. Go to cleanup. Pitches Ritual. Null Drifter. Go to main. So again, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 13, 15. And it's time for Emrakul. Oh no, we're 1 short. Ah, damn. Okay. 0. Time Warp. Time Warp. Null Drifter. Draw 2. Yield all. Play Ugin Lab and Imprint and my turn rather. We draw another Tamiyo. Go to main, Tamiyo Plus. And now it's actually time for Emrakul. Perfect. Yield all. Go to combat. Swing for 4. Annihilator 1. Okay. Took a bit longer than probably should have, but we did get there in the end. Bring in Gemstone. What we trimming for it, though? Honestly, I'm thinking the Temporal Trespass. I think that probably is correct. Yeah, let's do that. Run it back. Yeah, the Trespass can sometimes be just a 3-mana extra turn, and sometimes that is worth it. Other times, though, it's kind of meh. I think I could have played that a little bit more cleanly than I did, though. But overall, pretty happy with it. Let's see if we can do something similar. We're game 3. Imagine we'll be on the draw. What say you, opponent? Temporal Mastery, K Command with no Soul Land. We'll mulligan. Brainchurch, Temple, Temporal. We'll take this, actually. We'll keep. Pitch an Island. Done. Because the Salty, again, can Time Walk them. So we'll go Misty. Because we want to Brain Surge the Temporal over. So we don't need to worry about the fetch and the Brain Surge. Because we're just going to Brain Surge the Temporal into Miracle for 2. Is the thought. And then we can just hold up the Subtlety on the off chance that we do need to evoke it. I think that's correct. Alright. Spirebluff Canal. Passing K Command. In that case, I think I will play the Temple and hold. Spirebluff Canal, ping cost 4, Ral. So yeah, the question now is, do we Subtlety this? I think I do, and exile the Temporal Mastery would probably be correct, keeping the Brain Surge. Subtlety. We'll say no to the Ral. Time Walk you. Yield all. Keeps it on top, of course. We'll pass and draw. Tameo. Tameo and pass and pass. So we could Brain Search with the Tameo next turn, but we're going to need to K Command the Ral. We'll draw. Null Drifter. We'll play the Misty Rain. Let's start by going to combat. Attack with a Tameo. Yield all. No blocks. Damage. End of combat. Fetch Misty Rain. For an island. K Command. Ramp and exile. Yeah. Ramp exile the Ral. And Ral down. Oh, yeah, I should have waited for that. I just realized my error. They have Remand. I should have waited until the fetch. Yep, you messed up. I like the Remand for some reason, just it's such an uncommon card to see. It just is not on my mind at all. That was a mistake on my part. I should have waited for after the fetch, rather than doing that on my turn. Hell, even just doing it on their upkeep would have been worth it to trim them on 1 mana, right? Because now they're 5, deep pull 2. They could theoretically win from this position. It's hard, but it's not impossible. Land tapped and passing. They can hit me for 1. They choose not to. We'll draw. Well, there's Dismember. Well, let's go to combat. Attack of Tamiyo. Trigger. I will evoke. Yield all. I'll flip the Tamiyo regardless. Tamiyo will flip. I was hoping for a land there, not gonna lie. Tamiyo will plus. And we'll hold the Dismember. I guess I could have Dismembered first. Probably would have been smart, actually. Because then if they remand it, then we have the mana to remand. Flusterstorm. Counter target instant or sorcery spells unless its controller pays 1. Okay. Again, also was not expecting Flusterstorm. So that will work to their advantage. Ral flips. Interesting. Ral pluses. It does make it hard for me to interact. Makes sense. Merchant Scroll. Huh. Okay. Remand. We'll draw. Emrakul. We will plus Tamiyo. We have K Command. We have Brain Surge. Well, K Command though. Go to upkeep. We'll plus. That way they have to pay more for the remand. And done. Yeah, so there's definitely things I could have done better here. Playing around the remand, playing around all that. I'm going to say bottom top draw since we're missing our land drops. And we'll pass at this point. Ral plus. Pain cost. Baral. Passing draw. Sink. So we could sink the Ral. We also could deal with the Baral. In that case, I have some interesting choices then. Island, Tamiyo minus on Dismember. We will go to their upkeep. And attempt to dismember the Baral. That will resolve. In which case, then I'm going to cast Sink in an attempt to deal with the Ral, and they'll have to remand it. So that will cut them short on mana. Ral back the hand. Okay. There's the Ral. We'll draw. Ugin. We'll plus. Cast. Rampant Exile. No, we should wait. Right. Stock up. No, I should have not done that. Like, I want to land here. But now they can just remand. Yeah. No, that was a mistake on my part. We get the hold of the cake, man, but that might not be worth it now. The other option was the Tamiyo minus for the Dismember, I guess. But now that we're one land short, yeah, I think we may have messed up there. I was thinking, like, they're not going to reveal, draw 3. And they fail to flip. They draw 3. Land tapped. Attacking does nothing. We'll draw. Stock up. We plus. We ramp and exile. We exile the Ral. And done. Maybe I should have stocked up first. Let's stock up. Yeah, I probably should have stocked up first. In retrospect, force negation pitching the preordain. Interesting. Well, we'll pass. I mean, we can draw half our deck next turn with Tamiyo. So if they don't win, we'll be in a pretty good position. Pain cost preordain. We are about to be in the red, though, so we need to be mindful of that fact. Definitely not playing efficiently. I can say that with certainty. But first time playing it, I'm feeling relatively happy with this. We can draw half our deck next turn. And they know that too. One top, one bottom draw. Pain cost 4. Ral. 3 cards in hand. Casting Wish. What could you possibly... Oh, Ritual Wish. Ral flips. Okay. Ral minus on Tamiyo. Relay. We'll draw. Sewers. I will... How would I like to do this? 0 does nothing. I guess we could sink and pick up Ral. That is a thought. But I think I'm going to Sewers here. Island to top. Stock up. Or do I need to Tamiyo minus Ral targeting sink? I probably shouldn't have played the Sewers, actually. That was a mistake. So we can stock up, but then what? Alright, we're going to return sink. Not what I want to be doing, but it's what I'm going to be doing. Ral to hand and passing. Yeah, definitely could have played that better. The clock is definitely an issue as well. We shouldn't have played the Sewers. I should have just stocked up to dig 5 and pulled 2. 2 in hand, but 6 in exile to play. At this point, we're just going to pass in full. Yeah, I definitely messed up. I could have played that better. Metamorphose. Yep. Make a stock up first in an attempt to potentially find a land plus Trinisphere, maybe would have been correct. There's Ritual. I mean, they're in a pretty good position here, I think. Because all they need to do is hit 6 RAL triggers. And then they can flip. There's another Revealed to draw another 3. Declines the flip. I'd be hard-pressed to believe that they have nothing here. But it's not such an impossibility. Paying cost. Merchant Scroll. But it can only find a blue card. Does the Ralph flip? A Braid. The Ral does flip. It hits a clue. Merchant Scroll. Grabs a Force Negation. Okay. I mean, there's Ritual, Gifts Ungiven, Stock Up, Ritual. The Gifts Ungiven alone should be enough, because then they can find Piff. Yes, they should have it here. I'm fairly certain. We definitely misplayed. Shouldn't play the Sewers, should have played the Stock Up, dug 5, pulled 2, looking for Trinisphere. Ideally played the Trinisphere. That probably would have been correct. There's Baral, sure. There's Ritual. They only have 10 cards left in deck, but I don't think that should be an issue. There's the Piff. Because, yeah, at this point, you just Ritual, Wish. In fact, you don't even have to do that. You just Wish, and then Grape Shot. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we definitely misplayed there. So if I draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... we still wouldn't have found it. I definitely think there were some misplays earlier on in the game that I could have avoided, and we just didn't. But don't have much experience with the deck, and we're definitely learning as we go. But it's been fun. We'll be back for match number 3. All right, we're back for match number 3 on the draw for game 1. We'll mulligan. Sure. So, what are we doing here? I'll keep. What do we pitch back? Temporal Mastery would make sense, though. We have the Brain Surge, Time Warp. See, my problem that I have here is what I want to do is Gemstone. Yeah, I want a Gemstone, I want a Talisman, I want a Tameo. So we have to get rid of the Mastery. Okay, this is fine. Yep. Gemstone, pitch the Mastery, and pass. Because at least this way we get the turn 1 Tameo and then into the Brain Surge. Burning Catacomb, fetch 19 for Overgrown Tomb Shock. We're going to get Thought Seized. GSC 0 for Dryad Arbor. Okay. Talisman. Trigger, no imprint. Talisman, Tameo, and pass. Opponent's probably very confused to what the hell they're playing against, which is reasonable. Badgermole Cub, doing Badgermole Cub things. They missed their land drop, that's important to note. Let's start with... actually, let's cancel, go to combat, attack, trigger, get a clue, and then we'll just Brain Surge now. Brain Surge. I don't need a second Tameo, so I'm gonna say you, Talisman, keep the Misty Shuffle, Tameo flips, plus Misty, and pass. So this way we can surveil. So we shuffle away and then surveil. Yep. Forest. They found their land drop. Could be, whatchamacallit, Yawgmoth. T's a possibility. They have access to, what, 5 mana right now? But they're missing double black. We can Ugin Binding the Badgermole Cub. We can Ugin Binding. How does Earthbend work here? Destroyed or exile. This returns. I think it's non-land though. It is. I have a Soul Cauldron. Sure. Does make the looping off the Tamiyo a bit worse. Then there's the Yawgmoth. That's fine. 2 more mana for Wall of Roots? Question mark. Walking Ballista for 1. Okay. So they can put Ballista underneath Wolf. Ping for 1. Down to 3. You can then pick up Ballista. Yep. On the Cub. Sure. So then Cub will deal 2, remove 1. So Tamiyo's down. Okay. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. End step main. Tamiyo down. End step. Return. Or Macy Rainforest Surveil. Null Drifter. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we're so close. I'm going to say Null Drifter top. And draw. We're going to hold the K command and Ugin's Binding. The next turn we can basically return everything to their hand. Actually. No. Yeah. Because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah. So Null Drifter, imprinted. Hold the K command, Ugin's Binding. We can Ugin's Binding the Agava Soul Cauldron as needed. We can also Ugin's Binding the Cub. Actually, go to upkeep. I think I want to get rid of the Cub now. Ramp and Exile or Scry Draw? Let's Scry Draw Exile. Exile the Cub now. Oh no, if I want to do both, I need to ramp. Ramp and exile. Exile the Cub. Cub is down. This way we knock them shy of some mana, right? Float 2. Is this Court of Calling? Oh. I didn't think about that. Court of Calling 4. Okay, so there's Yawgmoth. In which case, I think I lose. Yeah? Okay, so we messed up. We should have gotten the Badgermole Cub before upkeep. Because now what they can do is Yawgmoth sacrifice the Yawgmoth. Yawgmoth, Undying Trigger. Undying Trigger returns, ping me for 1 with the... Yeah, we'll concede. So we lost because I was missequencing here. I was not expecting Court of Calling. Is that normal in Yawgmoth now? I could have sworn they were off of it, but maybe I'm mistaken. It's been a while since I've looked at a Yawg list. Yawgmoth. Where the fresh hell's the Yawgmoth list? Yawgmoth? Where did you go? Hello? I wonder... Did I miss it? Or am I crazy? No, I don't. I physically don't see a... Oh, no, there it is. I missed it. Oh, I guess they do play 2 Court of Calling now. Yeah, 2.4 and 87. Okay, so that's good to know. That's good to know for future reference. Grafdigger's Cage, yes. Gemstone out. Flute, no. Subtlety? Does Consign work here? We could consign the Undying trigger. That is a consideration. Maybe down Temporal Trespass and 2 Ugins. Run it back like this. Let's do that. We're on the play for game 2. I'll keep turn 1 Tamiyo. If we draw into a lab, we can flip off the Brain Surge is a thought here. Otherwise, we surveil on 2. Looking for a land, then flip on 3. Yeah, that Court of Calling caught me off guard. If I had played that just a bit differently, we would have been in a much better position. How unfortunate. Flooded Strand, fetch for an island, Tamiyo, and pass, and pass. Verdant Catacomb, 19. Overgrown Tomb Shock, 17 for... I wonder if they keep pushing. Like, Tamiyo's the only thing they could theoretically push. Halfling, sure, we draw, sink. In that case, we'll sewers, surveil, temporal mastery on top. Well, then attack, get a clue, and pass. We're here to take extra turns, friends, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So next turn, we'll be able to temporal mastery, sink, not shock, get an extra turn, make another clue, yada yada yada. What you got here? Windswept Teeth fetch, 16. Forest, 4. Badgermole Cub on Overgrown Tomb. Yep. 2, 4, Yawgmoth, and GSC 0 for Dryad Arbor. Yep. We'll draw. Yes. Temporal Mastery, always yield. We'll cast it. Combat, swing, no blocks. Opponent's tinkin'. You don't have reach, so we're fine. Second main, sink, play, no shock. End step, draw, time warp. Unfortunately, no such luck on the time warp right now. So we're gonna go combat, swing, trigger, go to second main. And let's flip with the Brain Surge. There's a Temporal Mastery, so we're going to put that on top. I'm thinking I will go... Otawara Mastery seems reasonable. Let's go Otawara, Mastery, flip Tamiyo, plus Tamiyo, Lab, Imprint Emrakul, and pass. We don't want to crack the clue because we want a miracle. Legendary spell looks like Yawgmoth. The question is, they have a way to win this turn. Yawgmoth can't be countered, sure. mean, all they need here is Ballistic Soul Cauldron. They win. That'd be unfortunate. Rumble. Rumble sees Chord. Emissary. Interesting. I guess that makes sense. So now you can gain some life. Yep. Again, they need Soul Cauldron to win. I think we're fine there. I think I can probably pass in full at this point. Most pass in full. I'll gain some life. Sacrifice the tomb, trigger the tomb. Yep. So I can draw plenty of cards here. Windswept Teeth. So they could... Okay, so they can try and dig deep enough to get to Soul Cauldron. Because now they have 2 mana. Again, they need Soul Cauldron and Ballista to win. Second Yawgmoth would also equal infinite life, but we don't really care about infinite life if we can take infinite turns. Okay, opponent's going deep. Sacrifice the Windswept Teeth. Finds a forest. Casting what? GSC 1 for second Yawgmoth. So you can basically draw as many cards as you want. Sure. That is an option. So you can draw your entire deck. But I don't think that matters too much right now. Yep. This is fine. We have the Time Warp in hand. So we're going to take probably at least 3 turns here. Emrakul has protection from what? Protection from spells that are 1 or more colors. Okay, good to know. So what are they digging for at this point? That would be relevant. It's not like they can GSC or Court of Calling for Soul Cauldron. I'm not sure if they have anything like a Blood Artist anymore. So I don't think they can do that. Interesting. I guess they could chord for Grist. And with Grist, then they can then deal with the Tamiyo. Maybe that's the thought process? No, they're 1 off of Grist, aren't they? Because chords would be X equals 3, so they're 1 short of Grist through chord. So what could they possibly be trying to dig for? I'm perplexed. What are you thinking, your opponent? Sideboard-wise, they play Force of Vigor, not that that's relevant. Yeah, no, I'm not sure what they're going for here. You have 19 cards in hand. And they've stopped drawing. I mean, you can draw your entire deck, but unless you have a Blood Artist or a Cutthroat, what have you, I don't think it matters. Okay, opponent's passing. I guess they can deal the Tameo 1. That's fine. Let's see. Goes the cleanup, pitching lots of cards. I'm kind of curious what they're pitching here, to be honest. I have an endurance would be pretty good for them here, because then I can't pick up the time warp off the Tameo. Yeah. I mean, regardless, we're going to be able to pick up. Let's see. Didn't see an endurance. Yep. And temporal mastery. Miracle. Cast it for 2. We taking extra turns. Nope, didn't want to go through that. That's my bad. Second main, plus Tamiyo. We can Brain Surge. I can Ugin's Binding. Pop back the Yawg. Don't really need to worry about that. Let's stock up, actually. Take 5, pull 1. There's Otawara, there's Null Drifter, there's Emrakul. I guess we could bounce their entire board. Yep, that seems pretty good. Any order, play a land, and passing. My turn again. We draw. Grafdigger's Cage is pretty good. So in that case, I can plus Tamiyo and then Time Warp. I guess before I Time Warp, let me Cage. So they're doing their thing again. We'll just yield all. On to end a turn. That will resolve. So you can draw as many cards as you want. Go right ahead. There's endurance, sure. So why endurance now is my question. I'm a bit confused by this. Oh, endurance targets self, I see. Sure. They should have, I was about to say, should have sacked. Oh, they're Corda Calling. For what? For 2? Okay. Bowmaster Ping. Okay. Sure. Time Warp? Hope you have another endurance in hand, bud. Alright, we get another turn. End step and draw. Scouting turn. I will Scouting turn fetch. Grab an island. So I have a few options here. We can... Well, I guess we can't minus, so we have to Ugin's Binding. So we can do a couple things. Let's return Time Warp. Do you have another Endurance? That's the question. You do not. So I'm going to take another turn. Another turn for me. Time Warp. And draw. Temple. Perfect. So now I can Ugin Binding, target the Bowmaster. So I'm going to Tamiyo Return. Time Warp. Time Warp me. Ugin Binding. Bowmaster. Bowmaster back to the hand. We get another turn. We draw. Sink. Tamiyo plus. Let's draw 2. And bounce your entire board. Healed all. We bounce him. All back to hand. Evoke. I'm going to Brain Surge. Yes, we'll Brain Surge. K command, Null Drifter, Brain Surge. I'm going to say Sewers and Temple? I'm going to go Sewers Brain Surge at this point, I think. Sewers Brain Surge. Play an island for a sink, and we'll pass. So now we can sink and time walk them, basically. It's a lot of cards you have in hand, friend. Spymaster's Vault, paying cost for Badgermal Cub. I'm just going to say no to that. And we'll pass. Sure. So I can take another turn next turn. Tamiyo, doing Tamiyo things. Picking up Time Warp unless you have an Endurance. Bone's going to clean up, pitching 5. We'll draw. Yeah, I think at this point, we can do a lot, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I go Temple, yeah, I think we're good to do this. Let's Time Warp. And another Time Warp. And then K command, Ramp and Scry draw. And done. Sewers bottom, lab bottom, lab bottom. Do we have any? No, we do not. We'll go top, top draw, and pass, and bounce it up. This is a fun deck. I have to admit, it is fun. It's very different from what I'm used to, but it's a fun one. So I want the gemstone back in, but what do I want to cut for it? 3, 6, 7, 9. We can't cut 7-minute value spells. We want the Dismember. Binding's okay. Honestly, I could be convinced to trim Binding here. I think that's probably right. Let's run it back. All right. Yeah, that's one thing I will say about Eldrazi turns. Opponents are definitely just of the like mindset at this point of like I just want a turn. I just want a turn. Give me a turn. I'm like, no, not allowed. Ain't allowed. No turns allowed here, friend. All right. Yeah, we're using our DB account today to use a viewer submitted Sunday list. This is Eldrazi Turns. Luca gifted 5 gift subs for it. And it's fun, I have to admit. It is a fun one. Um I'm gonna mulligan this one. Like we could dig 8 deep. I'm tempted to dig 8 deep for a lab. I guess that would work. Sure. Reveal, reveal. I know I don't reveal 2, but I feel like this is fine. Overrun Tomb, Shock 18 for halflings. We're gonna dismember that. Show me a lab. No lab. There's Tamio though. We'll grab a island, methinks. And we'll grab a temple, yeah. So we will go island, dismember, and pass. And pass. And now we have a K command. This temporal mastery is begging for a brain surge. Shock. And a 16. 4. Badgermole Cub. We'll get rid of the Cub then. We'll draw. I guess we can't get rid of the Cub. We can get rid of the Overrun Tomb on upkeep though. Yeah, we'll probably do that then. So we'll go K command, upkeep, K command, Rampant Exile, and done. So this way I'll come in and play tapped, float 2, sure, Cub trigger, comes into play tapped. Nothing to use at instant speed. Land for turn. Next turn we have Sewers, Talisman to ramp. Pain cost 4, Aggie Soul. Makes sense. They'll probably, I guess they could Aggie Soul halfling on Cub. It could make double colorless. Yeah, it's not bad. I guess make colors in green. Yes, colors in green. Yeah. Rumble? No. GSC 1? Ballista 1. Ballista 1 target spawn? I mean, Ballista can now generate mana, so I feel like he should probably hold the Ballista, yeah? Would make more sense to me, but nope, opponent says, well, go for it. Makes sense. Alright, phase change. And draw. Lab. So, no benefit in labbing now. Let's Sewer Surveil, K command top, Talisman pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One short Temporal Mastery, but we're on for Devour. You also could K command and go big that way, ramp Scry draw. Thought CC's the Temporal Mastery, Devour. Imagine you hit the Temporal Mastery, yeah? I'd imagine. No, it's a Devour. That's interesting. Okay. Black, legendary. Oh, I see. So this way you can play the Yawgmoth knowing that I can't Devour next turn. Makes sense. There's the Yawg, but you can't really do much with the Yawg right now, so I'm okay with this. But a counter on Yawg, I guess? That way I can tap for mana? Sure. We'll draw. So Lab, imprint the Devour. And then K command, Rampant Exile or Scrydraw Exile? I think we Scrydraw Exile, exile the Yawgmoth. X equals 5, and done. So Yawg down, you could sacrifice the Badgermold Cub to draw a card if you really felt inclined. Of course, Aggie's Soul Cauldron means that them sacrifice another creature. Okay, it can't sacrifice itself. Yep, deal me 1 down to 15, so it does get exiled, which is good. Time Warp, Subtlety, another K command, Temple, Sewer's bottom for sure. I mean, I want to draw into the Subtlety, and then I'm thinking Time Warp. So I'm thinking top, 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 draw. This way we can evoke the Subtlety for the Temporal Mastery. Yes. That makes sense to me. Just need to keep in mind that this Aggie Soul Cauldron will be going after my extra turn cards. There's a Halfling. Halfling is fine. We'll take 3 down to 12. Yep, there's the Vower. Can put it on Halfling. Puts it on Cub. They hit me for 4. Down to 11. A theoretical 9. We'll draw. So I am going to Time Warp. Actually, can we tap differently? 1, 2, 3, 4, no. We cannot tap differently. So Time Warp, me, we warpin'. And draw, Temple, play Temple, Temporal Mastery. We taking turns. And passing. And drawing. K command, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could devour target Badgermold Cub at this point. That is actually tempting. I think that might be correct. Is devour Badgermold Cub rather than the K command? Though the K command might also still be correct. By holding up the K command, we also hold the Subtlety. I kind of like that idea. Let's do that. So you can take out the Time Warp, but that's fine. Then we probably just Rampant Scrydraw, honestly. Surveil. Spymaster's Vault to Yard. Main. Begin combat, go to attacks. So K command, Rampant Scrydraw. Hold up double blue for subtlety. X equals 5. Talisman, no. Delta, no. I'm gonna say, what, Brain Surge Island K command, yes. Maybe we go... Island, no. Yeah, Island, no. Brain Surge K command. Let's go K command top, Brain Surge top. Go to blocks. We block. Take 1 down to 10. Second main, 1 card in hand. What is it? Badgermal Cub, we'll sack in response. Spymaster's Vault, sure. Max the number of creatures that died this turn, so we can Brain Surge. No, we can't. Yes, Vault will resolve. But then don't you just pitch them? Yeah. There's Yawgmoth to yard, so I guess you can sack, hit more spawns. Sure. Targets the Yawgmoth. Yep, that's fine. On the halfling, okay. Before the phase change, we Brain Surge. Opponent's about to be in the red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Tamiyo, Null Drifter, K command. Thinking I'm gonna go Emrakul Subtlety, drawn to the Subtlety. You wanna hit more spawns? If so, be my guest. End step and sack. 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 I'm going to ramp and exile the halfling. Halfling down. Yield all. And draw. So we can now play Tamiyo. Evoke the Drifter. Triggers. Time Warp. Yield all, no responses. Evoke. Plus, we can't Time Warp this turn, but that's fine. Drifters in yard, that's also okay. We can Subtlety. Evoke if needed. Target the Drifter, sure. I mean, I'll block here. There's no ifs or buts about that. Yep, at Tamiyo, that will always yield. Go to blocks, we block. Opponent's going to potentially regret not keeping the Aggie Soul Cauldron up. We'll see. Spymaster's Vault, sure. So they can ping Tamiyo down. So that way it can't pick up Time Warp. That'd be in their best interest. However, it doesn't matter since I already have a Time Warp in hand. Yep. This is fine. Tamiyo 2. Sure. And draw. Lab. Will plus. I will play the lab. No imprint. Time Warp. Target me. Extra turn. We draw. What we thinking here, opponent? Temporal Mastery? Yes. Miracle? Cast it. We get an extra turn. We can plus Tamiyo now. And again, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll pass. and draw. So I can time warp 2 more times. Ugin. Oh. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll return time warp. Cast time warp. And another turn. Draw. What do we draw into? One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, 5 short Emrakul, which is what I want to go to. Otherwise, we can just Ugin, hit the Bajmal Cub. That is a very fair option at this point, honestly. There's a Tamiyo, so I will play Tamiyo. I will grab Time Warp and Time Warp. Target me. Do I want to return this lab? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's tempting at this point to return the Devourer. I'm going to say no, though. We'll draw. Stock up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go attacking. Tamiyo attack trigger. Makes a clue. Yeah, I think at this point I am just going to cast the Ugin. Yep, Ugin. Target Cub. Cub down. Plus Ugin. Draw a card. Misty. Fetch for a forest. Crack the clue. Pick up Sync. Flip the Tamiyo. Plus Tamiyo. We have 2 Time Warps. And we have Subtlety primed. I mean, this should be GG's at this point. The Subtlety alone should guarantee us the win here. Attacking's pointless. Paying cost for. Rumble will resolve. Sees Cub, Beseiju, Grist. Probably picks up the Grist. We're gonna then Subtlety them. Well, I guess they don't actually have to pick up the Grist. They can Aggie Soul Cauldron. Well, that's true. Chooses Beseiju. Sure. So I guess you can Aggie Soul Grist at the Ugin then. Sure. Not much we can do about that. Target the halfling. Nope, that's not what you wanted to do. Control Z. Control Z. Or, okay, sure. Do you want to Beseiju a land, I guess? Confused why they went for Beseiju, to be honest. Mills a Yawg. Yawg and Yard. I mean, I get to take another 2 turns, which means Ugin's going to be in alt range. So we have lethal on board. No matter what, we win here. Spymaster's Vault, sure. I guess they could get Ugin out of alt range then. Discards a Verdant Cat. Paying cost, Beseiju, sure. Yes. Surveil. Trigger. Halfling deals damage to Tamio. That is not the one you wanted. Sink to yard. And I'm pretty sure that's GG's now. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. Ugin plus draw. Time warp. We'll just, time warp. Time warp target me. Tamio plus. I'll play Sync. And we'll shock. No, we don't need a bolt, rather. Ping for stock up. 2. Brain Surge and Binding. Sure. Any order. And untap. We draw. Polluted Delta. I'll Polluted Delta fetch for an island. Ugin. Alt. So we have Devour, Graph Digger, Null Drifter, Talisman. Talisman, I suppose. Yep. So we will play Talisman. Talisman. Null Drifter, draw 2 before I do that. I'll Ugin Binding, I suppose. Target Agisoul. Null Drifter, draw 2. Binding trigger, yield all. Yes. Yield all. Guess I don't want to play my Devour now. Cage. I suppose we can Brain Surge. Yeah, we'll Brain Surge first. Another could have played that better. Brain Surge. Land. 0. Time Walk. Cast Time Walk. Pass. Upkeep. Trigger. Combat. Swing. Annihilator. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Second main. Gems. Or second main Temple. And Emrakul time. Our turn, comrade. And draw. And that's game. What a stupid deck this is. This, I don't know. This one's fun. I will have to say. Opponent didn't even bother conceding. Opponent just disconnected from the game. That's how dumb they were. They're like, I spent all this time watching you taking all your turns, and I am going to lose. To be fair, they kept on letting Aggie's Soul Cauldron not take out my Time Warps in Yard. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I like this version. I think it is a fun one. Now, do I think this like a good Eldrazi variant? Not really. Like in the grand scheme of things, I do not think that this is like the best by any stretch. Is this a fun Eldrazi deck to play though? Absolutely. Absolutely a fun one. So like this is definitely a good like F&M deck, I would say. But it is fun. But watching your opponent take like 4 turns in a row and then they just land an Emrakul and you go, cool, I take another one, Annihilator 6. Fantastic. All right, we'll be back for match number 4. All right, we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. I will keep. I was like, oh, we can keep this, and I realized, oh, I don't have a blue source. If I had a blue source, a turn 2 stock up seems fantastic. But I need a blue source bad. Thankfully, we have a ton of them, mind you, but still. Probably should have mulliganed. Lab, imprint the Ugin, and pass. Because how many blue swords do I have? I have 5, 9, 10, 10, 12. 12, I think? Map mine. Okay, so this is Tron. Tamio, lab, pass. Yeah, I definitely should have mulliganed this hand. That's on me. So it's likely a Tron on 3. T is a tower, passing. Not liking the looks of this. We'll draw, time warp. Yeah, we'll just go next. We're good. Let's not play with the point. I 1000% messed that one up. Harbinger, yes. Consign, yes. So Ugin out. Binding, maybe. Dismember out. Gemstone out. Temporal Trespass out. Thinking Binding out. But then we still need room for 2. Maybe I'd keep the consigns, but not the flutes. Flutes have been kind of mid in this matchup. Yeah, we'll do that. Subtleties seem good. Consigns are great. Bindings are mid. Well, they can be good, but I think for the most part, we don't want the bindings. We don't really care about bridge necessarily with the sinks. So we have a way from under bridge. Harbinger, of course, is necessary here. Yeah, this seems right. Let's just keep a better hand than I did. Like I said, for some reason I was like, oh, we have the lab, we have the imprint, we have the stock up, and like my mind, I think in the corner of my eyes saw an island, but it's really a blue spell, and I went, ooh, we messed up. No bueno. No bueno. Alright. On the play for game 2, we can keep this. So we can go Tamio on 1. Would love to see a Brain Surge or Null Drifter on 2. That way we can flip. Yeah, flipping a Tamio on 2 is pretty good. Reveals Devour. Island. Tamio. Pass. You can also Subtlety Pitch Subtlety, which is relevant. Devour, trigger, pass. They shouldn't have any turn 1 plays that I can counter. Or time walk off the Subtlety, rather. Mine. Map. Yep. Draw. Talisman. Let's go to combat. Swing. Trigger. Second main. Lab. Imprint. Talisman pass. And hold. Do wonder if I should crack the clue here. Maybe try and find a Harbinger. That might be right. That might be better than me trying to flip the Tamio at this point. Sync's not bad. We'll draw. Null Drifter. Let's go to combat. Swing. Trigger. Null Drifter. Draw 2. Yield all. So we'll flip the Tamio. Tamio trigger, there's Time Warp. Okay. This is looking good. Tamio plus. Sync, play, shock. Now we can draw and hold. They'll have Tron, but there's not much we can do about that. Sans a... I guess the downside here is the Tamiyo will get devoured if they go for Devour. That is unfortunate. I mean, they'd want to get rid of the Tamiyo, that's for sure. If they go like for Karn, then we want a Subtlety. If they go for Devour, I'm not sure we Subtlety that, to be honest. Fleshraker is fine. TKS, I'll say no to TKS. Exile, Sync or Subtlety. I'm thinking Sync here. You don't want to pitch the Time Walk. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I do pitch the other Subtlety, honestly. No, I think I pitch the Sync. Subtlety. Evoke. TKS. I'm going to draw a card. Sewers, pass. No TKS. We'll be able to time warp. End step draw. Temple. Tamiyo plus. Time warp, target me. Sewer surveil. Temporal mastery top? Okay. If you insist. Temporal mastery, yes. Always yield. Cast it. Get an extra turn. Plus Tamiyo. Eldrazi Temple. And pass. We draw. Jesus Christ. Tamiyo 7. And this should just be GG's. There's Consign. There's Null Drifter. Temporal Mastery. No. Oh no, there's Brain Surge. So I will start with what? We want to take another turn. So target me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time Warp. Temple. Brain Surge. I want to put... I'm going to say Talisman, Temporal Mastery, and then passing, draw, yes, cast, 1, 2, take another turn, Tamiyo plus. Then we have our land for turn. We already had the Tamiyo, so now we can cast Jace the Mind Sculptor. Jace plus, look at you. Do I care about the Devour? I do not. No. And then, what else do we have? We have a K command, ramp, and scry draw for 4 rather. And done. I'm going to say bottom, 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 top, and draw. Anything else we have here that we want to play right now? Nope, not really. We'll pass. Our turn, draw. Let's see, we'll plus Jace, target you. I guess I should save targets at least, because we're not ever targeting ourselves. We see Devour. We're going to save targets. We look at the card. We do not wish to use the ability because we don't care at this point. We Tameo Plus. We time out. Gotta say, this doesn't... Opponent goes, gotta say, this doesn't look like Magus and E-Ramp. You're right, opponent. You are so right. Oh, my word. Time Warp. Lab Imprint Devour. What do we have left here? We have a Harbinger. We have so much shenanigans. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ugin. No targets. Done. Yield all. Opponent scoops it up. I mean, I have a Jace that's gonna ult. I have an Ugin that's gonna ult. I have an Emrakul the Aeon Storm that is also going to land. And consigns Harbingers galore. Oh, that was fun. I have to say that this deck is fun. It is very fun. Okay. What do we want to trim for this freaking gemstone? Honestly, I'm starting to think maybe gemstone just shouldn't... no, that's not true. Having acceleration here is good. I don't know. I don't want to trim subtlety or consign. Harbinger, no. We're already down to, what is this? 6, 7, 9, 7 of value spells. So I don't want to trim further. Don't want to trim subtlety. Maybe a stock up. Stock up seems the weakest of our dig spells. It's... E-turns is fun. Like, there was one pilot that was playing E-turns for so long, but they've fallen off, and so I kind of used it as foundation, but I definitely tuned it much further, I would say. Oh, this looks so tempting. I mean, the Tameo on 1, and I mean, if we find a lab here, this is ridiculously good. We are keeping. Because if we find a lab, we got the turn 1 Tameo. Even if we don't find a lab, we can flip Tameo on 2 if Null Drift, or you can find a Temple. So you have 8 hits, 4 deep. But if we can find a lab, we get the Temporal Mastery on 3. That looks really good. That looks very good. Devour. Pass. Plays a tower. Of course, like, I don't know, playing on 3 can be kind of rough because if they just have Tron, then... It's kind of unfortunate, I'm not gonna lie. We could grab Island. Play the Tameo. Probably correct to do so. Yep, we'll grab Island. Island. Tameo. Still have another 8 hits. And worst comes to worst, we Tameo, attack, and draw a card, right? We'll pass. Tower. Ooh, okay. So not Tron. Vaccine Bauble. Dismember, Tameo, Rude. So it's still like the Brain Surgeons of Temporal Mastery. Oh, well, that works too. So we'll Surveil on end step. And then we just try and Harbinger. Yep, that seems right to me. Second main, waste. Dia has anything? You do not. End step, fetch, looking for a land off top, please and thank you. Surveil, gemstone top, and pass, gemstone, cast Harbinger, pass. Isa Harbinger. At least you have a waste still, so that's good for you. Next turn, we brainstorm into Temporal Mastery. Harbinger lands. End step. Map crack for a swamp, I'd imagine. Power plant. Sure. We'll pass. Power plant. Do you have a TKS? You do not. We'll draw Tamiyo. Well, damn. We can still make this work, so let's start by going to combat. Attack. Down to 16. Or 14, rather. We will Brain Surge. So we're going to want... K-Command's pretty much dead right now. K-Command, Temporal Mastery, play the Island, play the Tamiyo, and pass. So we get Mastery primed. And then we can sink in either Drift or a Brain Surge with the Tamiyo. I'll draw a card. Looking for outs. Land. Map. No reason to crack the map. We'll draw. Yes. Temporal Mastery, always yield. Temporal Mastery. And play sync. Go to combat. Trigger Tamiyo. That's a clue. Down to 12. Brain Surge. Another Temporal Mastery. Jeez. So we'll say K-Command Temporal Mastery. Tamiyo flips. We plus Tamiyo. We pass. We draw. Yes to the Temporal Mastery. Opponent says GG's. GG's, friend. And they scoop it up. We got there. Man, when this deck goes off, it goes off. Those Temporal Mastery Brain Surges are nutty. I do wonder, like, maybe there's some thought to using Preordains. I have, like, a few flex slots that I've considered, and maybe Preordain is something to consider as well. Being able to manipulate the top deck a bit more. Maybe that's better than Stock Up, but, like, Stock Up's pretty good, so I don't know. Things to think about, but like I'm not planning on tuning this list past this. I think this is a good foundation for other people to try if they're interested. And of course, if anyone gives 5 gift subs again, they can always choose this list for me to play, and I'll tune it a bit more and play it some more. But with that being said, we'll be back for match number 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the draw for game 1. We will keep. This sounds fun. I mean, if we draw into a Tamiyo on 1, that would be really good, because then we can flip it on 2 with the Null Drift. Otherwise, we have K-Command X2 on 2, which is also very good. We have plenty of options here. I'll say, I've had a lot of fun with this deck. It's not something that I think I would, like, religiously play in the same way I do Eldrazi Ramp or Tron. But I could definitely see this being put into my rotation. It's fun, and I don't think people are Zoo. Oh my god, okay. Well, I mean, that's basically a Mola 6, so that's fine by me, I guess. As long as you don't play a Sign of Draco on 2, I'm fine. If you play a Sign of Draco on 2, I'm in trouble. Put it that way. Maybe I should put an All Is Dust in. If only they're away. No, if I will not reveal it. We'll play the Temple and pass. If only they're a way to play it on turn 0. But there's not. And we'll pass. Forest. Plain. Kavu? Ah, damn. Yeah, that Sign of Draco's a problem. Yeah, so I do wonder if maybe some number of... All Is Dust might not be a bad idea. Maybe 1 copy of Dust? I could see that. Copy of Dust might not be a bad idea. Kavu. Do you have Reach? No, you have Vigilance, though. Shit, that's right. Honestly, the stamina's pretty bad. Yeah, so I can't attack, but I can at least flip it, I suppose. Down to 16. Let's evoke to flip. Yield all. Flip. Evoke. Plus. Play a temple and pass? I mean, they can just kill the Tameo, but at least that's not going after me now, I suppose. Eh. Attack at me, attack at Tameo, Tameo down. So we'll take 3 down to 13. We're not dead yet. Keywords. Yeah, I can't foresee. Whoa! Birthing Ritual and Zoo. Excuse me? Huh? That is 15 damage. We draw. Devour. We can Lab Imprint Devour. K command. X equals 5. Rampant Scry Draw. Yes. I think that's correct. That way we can mitigate damage and try and set up into something. I don't know what that something is, but we'll try. Yeah, why Birthing Ritual? That one perplexes me. X equals 5. Ugin Binding. Ooh. Ugin Binding's interesting here. Okay. So, Temporal Trespass is also intriguing. So this is 4, 8. We're down to 5, which means we need to block at least 1 damage. So we block 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I'm thinking bottom, 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 top, top, draw. Pass. Pass. I might be alive for a turn. They could really blow me out with a leyline binding. Because we block binding, then we die. If I block 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we'd be short 1 of the binding into Devour is the problem. Yep, so we have to block 1. We can't block 2. Because we want a binding and Devour. Block 1. We're going to be down to 1, which means these fetches are dead. Down to 1. Do you have a Flage or a Bolt? Damn. I mean, we had the out, but unfortunately did not work. Subtlety is a yes. Consign's a maybe. Harbinger? Question mark? Yeah. Gemstone out. Ugin out. Trespass out. And Maybe a stock up? Yeah? Yeah, let's do that. On the play for game 2. Sure. Then we go sync tapped. And then if we draw into a 7-minute value spell, we can then mastery on 3. And that is a consideration. There's the Leyline, the Guild Pact. Okay. So we play, tapped, and pass. And pass. Yeah, do I think it maybe and All's Dust could be a consideration? We'll draw. Dismember. In that case, we'll just play the Otawara and pass, hold, dismember, and pray once again that they do not have a Sign of Draco. Would be unfortunate. I'm curious about that not land binding, the birthing ritual though. That one perplexes me. Birthing ritual in zoo. We'll hold the dismember and pray that they don't have a Sign of Draco. Paying cost 4. Kavu is fine. I think I dismember the Kavu. Dismember the Kavu. Kavu down. And draw Tameo. Well, I will lab no imprint and Harbinger. Now they're all islands because of layers. I don't know why that says Island Mountain, but it's definitely just an island. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Let's go to combat. Swing for 2. Second main, I'm thinking we're going to go Brain Surge. So I'm going to... Let's go top, land, Tameo, pass, and pass. I guess I should hold for subtlety, actually. Yes. Always yield. Temporal Mastery. Cast. We get another turn. We go to combat. We swing. Trigger. Second main. Get a clue. Land. Pass. Draw Time Warp. Combat. Swing. Trigger. Gets a clue. Time Warp. My turn. Highland. Combat. Swing. Get a clue. Time Warp. Draw. Talisman. Combat. Get a clue. Down to 10. We could Jace here, but I'm going to get a clue or a draw. Draw. Tameo trigger plus Talisman and hold subtlety. Bounce scoops it up, we'll take the win. Pretty good. Do you want to drop stock up at this point? Yeah, we'll drop the stock up. Yeah, I forgot that due to layers, the Harper's is pretty good in this matchup if we can land it quickly, especially if they like, yeah, if they just go Leyline of the Guild Pact and then we Harbinger, thanks to layers, we're in a good position. I guess I should consider that when thinking about the sideboard for Magus against Zoo and E Ramp. Probably a good idea. All right. Well, there's a Tameo. Devour. I'll keep it. Because we have options with this K command. Yeah, we'll keep. I'd love to see an island for the Tameo on 1. Yeah, maybe All's Dust would be too greedy, just based on the fact that it's our own card. So I think the Ugin's Binding is decent. We'll keep. They have another Leyline, the Guild Pact, clearly. There's the Leyline, the Guild Pact, Reveal Devour, and pass. Misty Rain. He has a Ragavan? No. Noble Hierarch? What in the fresh hell zoo version am I playing against right now? I am so tempted to grab this Dismember, I'm not even gonna lie. I will grab the Island, however. Island, Tameo, pass. Weird. Noble Hierarch in Zoo. Super weird. What in the what? Huh. Huh. Well, that's weird. That is very weird. Fascinating. Go to combat, swing, trigger, draw. Lab, imprint, devour, K command, ramp, and exile. Exile the Noble Hierarch. And done. We'll pass and hold. Makes a 4/4 red and white golem when you cast multicolored spells. Fascinating. That is very fascinating. Maybe that explains the ritual? Sign of Draco. Yes. So he'll attack for 3, down to 17. We'll draw. Brain Surge. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. So we could Time Warp here. We could Brain Surge, Tameo, flip. Thing is, Tameo will then die to Draco in general, or Rorik. We could Harbinger as well. That as a consideration. That might be the right move in the immediate. We'll play Bolt. And cast the Harbinger. Crack the clue. Actually, do we want to crack the clue? Because next time we can time warp. We'll pass. No attacks. We're in a very dangerous position, though. We don't have a way to block Rockerick. Rockerick? Rockerick. We'll take 7 down to 7. Yep. We draw. Second Harbinger. Play a land. Cast Time Warp. No attacks. We draw. Temporal Mastery. Yes. Always yield. Cast. No attacks. We'll draw a card. Chase. We'll draw. Sewers. Play the Sewers. Let's Brain Surge. Tamiyo flips. We'll go land, Tamiyo flips, Tamiyo plus, and pass. No attacks. So we're not dead. They'll of course attack at Tamiyo though. We could block the Harbinger. That is a consideration. But I think Tamiyo still dies in that situation, though. Return target creature to its owner's hand, but Sign of Draco has hexproof, so that's not an option. Wish some of those lands we saw on top were like an Ugin's Binding, so I could have Ugin's Binding, the Leyline, and then Null Drifter evoked. But no such luck. So they have to attack down to Tamiyo. That's not really an option, I think. Yeah, we're kind of in a pickle. Attack Tamiyo. That makes sense. No blocks. We'll draw. Otawara. We could Otawara the Leyline of the Guild Pact. That's a consideration. It then means the Sign of Draco. Okay. I have an idea. So, Temple. We can't Drifter and Otawara. But then we have to block with Harbinger. So that's not an option either. Legendary creatures controlled. It's not discounted by Jace. So I'm thinking we have to Drifter. Drifter, draw 2. Yeesh. Play Harbinger. So now we can double block Rockerick. That still might not be enough. We take 4 down to 3. They're paying 4. They can't pay for Jack. Down to 3. They don't want to trade, which makes sense. We draw subtlety. So we can block the Scion. Okay. So we can Scalding Tarn. We can play subtlety to block. Yes, we'll pass. No attacks. We're not out yet. Begin combat. Attack. Cast subtlety. Subtlety. Done. No response. Go to blocks. We block. We take 1 down to 2. Land. End step and draw. Time warp. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Channel. Target leyline. Jace. Jace, return target creature to its owner's hand. Sign of Draco. We then pass. No attacks. We pass. Are we somehow going to survive this? No attacks. We draw. Let us start with, I think we brainstorm. Put 2 on the top. I'll put Emrakul Delta. Play Temple. Time Warp me. I guess we could cancel that first and then attack. Go to combat. And attack. Second main, Time Warp. We draw. Polluta Delta. Draw 3. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Combat. Attack. Time Warp. Target me. Brainstorm. Temporal Mastery. Devour. So we can play the Temporal Mastery. Can't do anything with the Devour, though. Play the Island. I guess that's first attack. Temporal Mastery. We draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Brainstorm. Finds another Temporal Mastery. Oh my word. So I'm going to say Devour Emrakul, Misty, Tameo, Temporal Mastery. And draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Draw 3. Opponent got a little bit sick of me just taking turn after turn, which, reasonable. Opponent says GG's, GG's. Yeah, because at that point, if we drew into a single extra turn spell after flipping the Tamiyo, we just go infinite, basically. Yeah, we just continue to dig through and try and find. I guess we found all our time warps, and I think we found all of our temporal masteries as well. Yeah, we did. So we wouldn't have actually had another turn, no matter what. We would have dug, we would have flipped the Tammy, would have plus the Tamiyo, which means that at best the Rockrick would have traded with the Harbinger, but then we're just getting to Emrakul and winning. Fantastic. All right. Well, that there is a 4-1 record at the end of 5 for Eldrazi turns. The deck definitely could be tuned further. However, I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed playing it. It is a genuinely fun deck to play. So I would say if you're looking to bring it to your next F&M, definitely try that. RCQs, probably not. Will your opponents know what the hell you're doing until it's too late? Probably. Because once the deck gets going, it's pretty good. As far as like things that I would tune at this point, the sideboard seems decent. I think the sideboard is good. I like the 3 talismans. I like the Dismember's Mane. Ugin's Binding, I could kind of hit or miss there. It's just kind of hard to get into Yard reliably. Unless you cast it first. I mean, 6 mana, draw 2, clear your opponent's board of, you know, all non-land permanents are pretty good. So, I mean, I'm still pretty happy about Ugin's Binding. I think Temporal Trespass you could probably drop, maybe bring in something, maybe TKS, maybe Preordain. Hard to say there. But overall, the deck feels pretty good. I am pretty happy with it. But with that being said, that there will be the end of today's YouTube video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback be much appreciated. For as much that I hope y'all learn from me in both my success and failure, I hope I can learn from you all as well. If you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we continue to grow this channel. However, if you would like to watch these videos recorded live over on Twitch, you can find out when I go live by joining me over my Discord server or follow me over my socials, whether that be Twitter or Blue Sky. Otherwise, you can find these videos ad-free and early over my Patreon. With that being said though, folks, I will see you next time. Bye-bye!